Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. It is me. It is I. It is she. Who? 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 Who's in the rainbow wig? Who's 51 and over 200 pounds? Who? I. Rosie. Let's focus. Come on. I'm going to do my intro. Rosie Rosette 2020. Pow! Hey, how are you guys doing today, this evening? Listen, it's only like 5 o'clock. I just put on my wig and my face like 2-3 hours ago. It's my day off. And this, okay, maybe I could do it right here. Okay, so, yeah, the sun, this daylight savings is killing me. It's just killing me. It's just killing me. I like to, I made a soup today, a tomato soup, a turkey tomato soup. I put, anyway, you don't care. Let's get it. Because no, this is serious. This is very serious, and we need to jump on it because it looks like this is a COVID video, but it looks like we're about to do another mandatory shutdown because people do not want to quarantine. I don't know why. They don't want to quarantine. So let's just kick the ballistics, the statistics, the numbers, whatever you want to say. Let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it. I don't know how this is happening. I don't know. Wait, okay. I'm just looking at the graphs because it seems like yesterday, the 26th, it was 8,988. But then the 27th, the 27th was 16,900. This is the 27th, 16,934. Do you guys see that? 16,934 new cases in California. So okay, but that was the 27th. The 28th, it went back down. No, the 29th, it went down, but it's still, so the 29th, November 29th, 2020, 13,218 people contracted the COVID virus. 13,218. So California has 1.23 million cases of COVID 2000. 1.23 million. As far as deaths, 19 people died within the past 24 hours. But there's 19,167 deaths. Like, is this virus going to wipe out everyone? I don't get it. And I definitely don't know how. I don't know how the president was able to contract it, get it, stay, perform, and get over it in what, 3 or 4 days? I don't get it. And he's alive and well, and I think, wasn't he campaigning like the next week? Wasn't that against the law? But how many people did he give it to? Because he doesn't like to wear masks, and I don't even think he's wearing a mask now. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Okay, do you see the numbers? Because I want this to go in the records. I want this definitely to go in the records, maybe 10 or 20 years from now when, this was like, oh, a has-been, and some people are alive and they, can look at the archives of this video. They will see the maps. They will see the scales, the graphs, sorry. So in America, for the United States, 13.6 million people have contracted COVID. 136,000 people within the past 24 hours that this data was issued. 268,000 deaths. 200, Donald Trump, who never even talks about COVID anymore, or how he got over it, or, something like that. But anyway, and we still never, where is Bill Gates? Where are you, Bill Gates? Where, now that you're a zillionaire probably. Anyway, 818 people died from all over the United States of COVID. Now, what my theory is that the numbers have been high all along. All along, the numbers have been this high. But remember when they stopped sending the COVID data to the CDC, and it had to, everyone was sending the numbers to the White House, and then they would send it to the CDC. I think Trump had something to do with that, allegedly, to save face for himself. I think so. Why? So are the numbers still going? See, because in this time, like from here to here, when everything was low, that's the time that the numbers were going to the White House. That's the exact time that the numbers were going to the White House. Now, on the news, right before I made the video prior to this one, they were saying that by the third week of December, if the numbers keep escalating at this rate, that they're going to have to, they're going to have to close down the hospitals. Not close down. They're going to have to run out of beds. So now, Gavin Newsom is talking about that we may have to go back into mandatory lockdown. You think? You look at, listen, go to Facebook. I'm sure almost everybody has Facebook. Maybe, 50% of everyone. Go to Facebook and look at how many people were posting pictures on Thanksgiving without masks. Just look. Then tell me how many people were posting pictures at clubs or at restaurants without masks. Then show me pictures of people who were out and about without a mask. It should be mandatory for everyone to wear a mask by now. Why it's not law, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea, but it happened. It's happening. People are not wearing masks for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't understand. Remember, like 5 months ago, I was like, why is it that I see, and I'm not being racist, this was my analysis, this is what I saw. Why is it that I see so many white people without masks? 268,000 dead people later, we have to go back on lockdown. Okay, so that was, the white people not wearing masks in my ear. But there's many Black, Mexicans, whites, Asians, or whatever that are traveling. Like, what makes you have to travel? Okay, for people who have to see their family, like, a father or mother, okay, I get that. But for you fools that are going on vacation, to Tulum, Mexico, or to Bali, or, wherever else. Listen, I've traveled more than most people in America, I'll say that. Most people, not all, because there's some young people who have circled the world 3 and 4 times, okay? But most people, a lot of people, what is it, 70% of people in America have never been outside of America or something like that. I don't know. I'm not talking about immigrants, I'm talking about native born, okay? I was talking to this young man and he had never been on a plane. But he hasn't done a lot of things. Anyway. Am I a little depressed that I haven't went anywhere in a year and a half? Yes. Not depressed. It's just abnormal for me. Okay, not to have gone on a plane, not to have gone on a road trip, in my car or something. I'm a traveler. I'm a nomad. I, you know, I I'm a hoarder, yes, but my value is not in material things, although I have tons of material things. Not high value, just tons. Just tons of junk, wigs, makeup, shoes, clothes, or whatever. Butter, butter, all butter, all butter. Um, but my true love, other than my son, is travel. Is travel. Now, I, who have been to 48 countries all over the world, haven't traveled in a year and a half, okay? Maybe because I have money, maybe, for whatever reason. If I can sit my big, fat, overweight, 51-year-old, middle-aged self down and sit this out so that the world can get back to normal. Not that I'm important or anything. I'm not saying yes I am. I'm self-important, but you know what I'm saying. Why can't you guys? Is it that? I mean, I think people need to internalize some things. I'm an only child. I mean, I have two half sisters, but I was raised by myself. So I could be by myself for days. Literally. I'm very friendly. I'm very sociable. But at the end of the day, I like my solace. I like to be by myself. I'm not going to say I like to. Yeah, I do. I like to be by myself, and I'm very, extremely comfortable with being by myself. Now, you would never think that because, in public, I'm an extrovert to the 50th power. I say hi to everybody. I say hi to everybody. Most people, I won't say everyone. I treat everyone the same. I don't care if you're Trump, Obama, or Biden or Harris, or if you are a homeless person in the street. You get the same. It's just straight across. I ask people why haven't they said hi to me, and they're like, "Do I know you? Do you have to know me to say hi?" You see what I'm saying? Anyway, that being said, these kids are going to these clubs. You don't socialize. You go to the club, you get dressed, you go to the club, and this is kids all across the board, not just black, not just white, not just Mexican, not just Asian, all kids, and they sit and they're on their phones. So you mean to tell me that you got dressed up for the women, put on makeup or whatever, go to the club, spend money on a round of whatever, do your little drugs. I'm not advocating, but this is what these kids do. And you sit there and you're on your phone. So you're going to risk your life during a pandemic to go to a club, which is illegal. And, well, it's illegal out here in the Bay Area. Not have a mask on and risk your life to sit down and get on the phone. Okay, anyway, let's just go on to the next. Okay, let's just go on to Texas. Let's see how Texas is doing. Oh my God. So Governor Cuomo was on Facebook Live, and he was talking about how people shouldn't gather for Thanksgiving dinner, or that was one of the causes. Weren't you going to send for your mother? Weren't you supposed to have 90 people for Thanksgiving? It's like the hypocrisy of it all. These politicians, oh my God, they're so delusional. And the people that surround them, that treat them like they're God. You're not God. You're human. You're human. You can't demand a state of 29 million or 19 million. I'm not exactly sure what. I think whatever. Let's just say 20 million. 20 million people. I think it's 19. To stay home, but yet you can fly your mother up from Florida or wherever she is to have Thanksgiving dinner. It doesn't go like that. It doesn't go like that, Governor Cuomo. If you're demanding for regular people, not politicians, okay, not rich people, but regular people to stay away then you have to do it too. Same thing with Governor Newsom. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. He's on, TV every weekday at 12 o'clock. We're not talking like that. Fool, for one thing, get a cough drop. Drink some tea with cough drop, honey, and lemon. Okay? Do that before you speak. Can you just one day just shut up? That's it. But then when you do speak, you're going to talk about, he has his grabs and he's just talking. Before I was interested in, but he doesn't hold my attention, his voice. Maybe just the same way that you think that my voice gets on your nerves. Same thing. Shut up. Because you got caught celebrating somebody's birthday in a restaurant. I don't think you guys had your mask on. Like, make it make sense. Obviously, again, like I said in that video about 5 months ago, you guys know something that we don't. Yes, you know something that we don't, because Cuomo can fly his mother up, but we all have to, the rest of us, we have to stay home and quarantine or be on lockdown, but you can fly your mother up. Make it make sense. Something's not right. Something's not right. And 260,000 people are dead because of it. And before, remember when this came out, they were like, oh, black people are immune to it. And then all the black, I'm going to say prominent men died. They're still dying. Just blah, 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 blah. There's an undercover story that has not been told, and it won't be told this year. Maybe 10 or 20 years ago, the truth will come out. The truth will unfold. Maybe. When Trump is long and gone. But anyway. Texas. Now, California, which has 10 million more people. 10 or 20, no, about 13 million more people than Texas. 10 to 13 million. Okay. We have 1.23 million. Texas has 1.25 million cases of COVID. 12,390 new cases within the last 24 hours. Texas has more deaths than California. Texas caught up and passed California. Now, mind you, on YouTube, I think there was a girl. Yes, this past weekend, or I think it was last weekend. I think her name is Gina J or something like that. You're a cute young lady. It was her birthday. In every place that she filmed, and I'm tracking, I look at the content, but then I'm a detailed person. I look beyond. One person said that when I was in New York City. And my ex's friend, he said, you're very detailed, because I didn't look at what was directly in front of me. I looked beyond. I think he was pointing to a building, and I looked past that. Does that make sense? I don't just, if you look at me, just don't look at my fingers. Look beyond that. Look at me. Look at the wig. Look at the makeup. Look at the light. Look at the pictures. You see what I'm saying? Look at the detail. Look at the non-detail. Look at the junk. Look at the little things. Look at the dictionary. Look beyond just what's in front of you. Does this make sense? Okay. How did Texas surpass California? California has 10 million more people. Again, Texas is spread out. Going back to the video of the girl in Houston, Texas, Gina J, something like that. She went to one club, no one had a mask on. Then she went to a birthday dinner. I think when they're ordering, no one had a mask. When they ate, no one had a mask. Then she went to this penthouse suite, which was very beautiful. No one had a mask. And I was like, well, what's going on in Texas? I guess they don't have any laws. I guess they don't have to wear, masks in Texas. So, you know what? And this is why the numbers are how they are. Look at how the rate is skyrocketing in Texas. Look, Texas was almost none until June. It was absolutely nothing until June. Then it went up. Then it skyrocketed in September. You see how it went up? That was like around September. Maybe that was Memorial Day or Labor Day. Was that Labor Day? Yeah, Labor Day. Or Memorial Day, whatever. I think it's Labor Day in September. Yep. And it's going back up. So, again, okay, so we had Labor Day, right? We had Labor Day. Then we kind of had back to school, right? Then we had Halloween. Now we're having Thanksgiving. You know, everybody got together for Thanksgiving. You know that? And then we're going to have Christmas. We're going to have Christmas, Christmas Eve, Christmas, the day after Christmas, the football games, New Year's, the Super Bowl. Hopefully the vaccine will come out. I don't know, but hopefully the vaccine will come out soon. I'm going to be first in line because I got to get up out of here. Okay, so Texas, Florida. One day, you know what, when I have time, which I never do. Oh, shoot, I got to remember. Okay, so Florida's doing pretty well. They're, they haven't gone in the tens of thousands. Yep, they're only 7,000 on the 29th, 7,363. But they did skyrocket the day, what was that, the 27th? Come on, move over. Yeah, the 27th. They had 17,343. 17,344, sorry. New cases. That's the 27th. That's the 27th, okay. So Florida has 999,000 cases of COVID. They have brought on an extra 7,363 new cases within the past 24 hours. They have 18,596 deaths. 58 people died in Florida within the past 24 hours due to COVID. How many hospital beds do these people have? I don't know. Okay, let's go to New York, where the hypocritical governor resides. Let's see, Cuomo. See, and it's saying New York hospitals close to staffing shortages as COVID cases surge. Again, here we go. You don't want, and look, they were flatlined. They were flatlined for so long, from like June all the way up to, I would say, the beginning of October. So June, July, August, September. For 4 months, they were doing really well. And now it's starting to peak. You don't want things to peak in New York. So New York, their cases, well, no, this is New York City. This is New York City. So in New York City, they have 317,000 cases. Okay, that's just the city. 2,303 new cases within the past 24 hours. That's New York City, not the entire state. Let's be clear. As far as deaths, excuse me, as far as deaths, they have 24,274. 8 people died in New York City, just New York City, okay? But with 74 deaths, I'm wondering, what are the ICUs looking like? And you know what? I have a friend who is an emergency room nurse in New York City, or I think he's in the Bronx, and he really hasn't posted lately. So maybe it hasn't gotten as bad, because he would post, saying how tired he was and how many code reds. I think that's when someone dies or whatever. Anyway. Okay, totals in New York, the state. You hear that call? Okay, I'm going to get to totals in the state, but see, this is a time where people, like this time last year, I was sick as a dog. I couldn't get up. I was coughing. This is when I think I had COVID because I got it right on this time, Thanksgiving. I was sick as a dog. And then I re-got it in January. Okay? Twice. That's when I think that's when the first round of COVID happened. That's what I think. And so that's why I made this delicious homemade turkey soup. Okay, so the totals in New York as a state is 653,732 new cases. Now see, they always do this. This number is not reflecting. So this number is 6,060 new cases. All right, you see that, right? But this number says 6,732. Something's not right. Something is not right. I don't know what it is. Okay. As far as New York, the state, the total was 34,150 with 52 new deaths. All right. Now I just want you guys to look at the numbers on this. All right, you see in this corner it says 6,732, I think. You see that? All right, and over here it says 6,060. So something's not right, but let's just say let's just go with a higher count. Let's do Wisconsin, because wasn't Wisconsin having issues? And I thought that the virus couldn't survive in like 90-degree weather, but how are viruses surviving in like below zero? I don't know. Okay. Okay, so something is leading me on to look at Wisconsin, because Wisconsin is not that populated. I think they have 5 million people, but considering they only have like 5 million people, they have 409,000 cases of COVID in Wisconsin. 4,055 new cases within the past 24 hours. That's a lot for a state that's barely populated, and they're spread out. I mean, there's nothing but land. In Wisconsin. Okay, as far as deaths, they have 3,496 deaths. 22 within the past 24 hours. That's a lot. That's a lot for Wisconsin. Those numbers are really high. Now, look, I think that the cases of COVID were worse for a long time. I don't think that they had the proper devices to test the people. I think the only way that they found out that they had COVID is when they went to the hospital. But I still don't think there's enough tests. I haven't been tested for COVID. Although I swear I think I've had it already. But that still does. I don't want to get that invasive one where they stick you up in your nose, because I feel like, they said that, a lot of people who have had that test have had brain leaks. Listen, I'm 51 years old. I'm trying to keep it tight for another 30 years. No, I'm trying to keep it tight for another 40 years. I just thought about my grandparents on opposite sides. My grandmother, my paternal. Anyway, grandmother, she was from Oklahoma. My maternal grandfather, he was from Oklahoma. They both died young. My grandmother died in her 70s, and my grandfather died in his 50s. Now, the opposites, my maternal grandmother from Louisiana and my paternal grandfather, they were from Louisiana. They both died, well, she died in her 80s. He died when he was 90. I would think, because to me, life in Oklahoma seems to be a lot more healthier than Louisiana. I mean, although they didn't spend the rest of their lives there, but it just seems like it's a better life. I don't know. Louisiana seems like it's a little rough. I love going there, but again, I don't know if I could live there. That being said, what are we going to do, people? What are we going to do? We have this new administration coming in. Biden is, hiring all these people. I pray that, this is a solid administration. What is he planning on for the COVID regulations? Like, is he going to make it mandatory to wear masks where it's illegal not to wear masks? I don't know. I just saw, I think in LA, that a court has passed a rule. Oh, I have to get some tea. My throat is scratchy. That people can congregate in churches and they can protest. But you would think that during a pandemic, it should be martial law across the board. Like, we should all follow the same rule. Everyone should wear a mask. Everyone. Not some people, everyone. But, there's a lot of money in LA. Especially that Church of Scientology, which judges are paid off. And that's not alleged. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Laws can be paid for. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Laws can be paid for. Judgments can be paid for. I'll just leave it at that. I have another example that I'm very knowledgeable of, but I can't say anything about it. No, not right now. No. So, this is the last day of November for people who will see this 20 years later. November 30th, 2020. Tomorrow is the first day of December. November wasn't as bad as the past 5 months. I mean, there wasn't nothing, too crazy. Although the cases have risen. They went back up. So I guess November was a bad month because the beginning of November, the cases were low, but now they're shooting up, whatever. And they're going to even go higher because people, like I said, they congregated together, which, that's tradition. But in a pandemic, you have to break traditions. Like with me, not traveling anywhere, which I love to travel more than life. That's my addiction, to travel. But I haven't traveled anywhere. Why? Because we're in a pandemic. I want to go to Cuba. Now, again, if I never travel again, I'm okay. I have traveled enough to last 5 and 10 lifetimes. But to put the icing on the cake, I would like to go to Cuba. I would like to go to the DR to get some plastic surgery. I would like to go to Bali. I would like to go to Argentina. I would like to go to Russia. I'm going back to Africa. If I have to go back and die in Africa, I'm going back to Africa. But anyway, but I'm not, because it's a pandemic. I can't travel during a pandemic. Does this make sense to you people? Because, I don't know. Anyway, let's see what this new administration brings. We have 53 days. 53 days until the new administration, the presidential administration starts. Maybe I should go on a fast until the new one starts. No. Okay, well, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Enjoy.